Hey you, it's Reese, and we are back with another prophetic word. In today's word, we are going to be talking about Strongs Concordance number 808, as well as 1243. So yeah, let's hop into the word. I have already prayed over this word. Make sure that you also pray over it, and to ensure that it is a word for you from your Father. Excuse me for the appearance. I didn't plan to do this video today, but hey, when he says speak my word, you better speak. So it is what it is. So let's get into it. Strong's 808. So he gave me this word. He's been showing me these numbers, but they didn't make sense until he showed me a prophetic word last week. Yeah, I believe it was early last week, and it explained. Then he gave me revelation to these numbers after I saw that word, because I was asking him. He called me to go to an event that I was unprepared for, that I didn't know I was going to be going to. And he told me to go back to a state that I wasn't planning to go back to, just so I can go to this event. And so I'm like, well, that's not the only reason, but that was one of the reasons why he took me from Georgia and sent me back to Texas, is so I could go to this event. And so I said, okay. Haven't really talked to a lot of the people at this event, and they are kind of at odds with me, because a lot of them feel that my walk with you is either counterfeit or fraud or fake, or they don't think I'm hearing from you. They think I, went off into an extreme Christianity, and, they're worried I might hurt my children and all this other stuff. So why are you sending me here? What's the purpose of me going to this event? Why are you sending me here? So I didn't hear anything, and I'm still praying on it like, God, why are you sending me here? What's the purpose? But before I left Georgia, I did have one of the girls that I had, that God had allowed me to connect with. She said, you're going out there to show and tell. And I said, okay, you're going out there to... She said, so be prayed up, anoint yourself. You're going to have to fast and everything, but you're going out there to show and tell. You are going out there to show Christ in you. You are going out there to show what he's been doing in you and through you, and to tell whatever testimony you have, or witness, whatever God is calling you to tell, then you tell. You're going out there to show and tell. Now he gave me revelation after this, because I wanted to do this video before I went to the event, but it wasn't time, and I see why he wanted me to wait, is because he gave me more revelation after this situation. Excuse me. So that's why he had me wait. Sorry if this turns into a long video. I just want to make sure I'm explaining things so you can understand, and in case he is calling you to do something similar. So show and tell wasn't just for me. I wasn't going just to show his spirit in me and what he's been doing in me and through me, but it was also to show me the hearts of those around me. And excuse me, they also told me what they felt about my walk. So it was a showing and telling on both ends. It was a show and tell for me to show him, and it was a show and tell from them to me. He was showing me their hearts and how they feel about, the walk that I'm on and everything. So, and that is because the place he is taking you, me, not everyone can go. So he was showing me the hearts of those that are around me, those that I love and I care for. This is family. And I'm not saying he's only doing this with, people that are blood related. It could be friends, it could be coworkers, whoever he's calling to calling you to observe what their true heart and or intentions are towards you. He's doing it for your protection, and it's also a test for them. So he's using you to test them, and he's also showing you, because majority of them will fail his test. He's also showing you their heart towards you. Excuse me, so that you can be, guard your hearts. And, when he elevates you, it's, those are the certain people. And I'm not saying he's calling you to disown them or, completely cut them off. But until further notice, you love them from a distance, and you continue to pray for them and all that other stuff, because those are his kids too. He loves them too, but he is not happy with their heart posture and their ways right now, especially because they call themselves children of God. And what they are doing what is right in their own eyes, but thinking it is okay and right in his eyes, and they think I'm the one that's wrong. So hopefully that kind of explains a little bit. All right, 808. Unseemly behavior, indecency, shame, nakedness, indecent act, improperly fashioned, improper behavior that fails to fulfill the needed purpose, lacking what is fitting or proper, unseemliness, indecent acts, shame. Now this is the this is the, I believe, the Greek definition. Sometimes he has me use both definitions of a Strong Concordance number. Sometimes he just has me use one. In this case, he's having me use both for the number 808. So this is Hebrew, and it's ashish, ashish, which means foundation. A ruined foundation. That is the meaning for 808 in Hebrew. So he called me to this event. He led me to this event. So I was already prepared for, to be persecuted, for people to come against me, for opposition, about my walk, about my faith, about the moves he's been having me make, because a lot of my family think the moves I'm making are out of my own will, wish, and desires, when half of the stuff he's been having me do, I'm like, why do I have to do that? That makes no sense. I don't want to do that, but I'm being obedient. So excuse me, he used, and actually it wasn't even that event. Nothing happened at that event. I showed and I told, I let my spirit shine. I didn't go in there timid. I didn't go in there kind of cowarding and, kind of with my head down and, okay, God, let's see what's about to happen. Let's, I already know what's going to happen, but, let's see who it comes from. And, so I was already prepared. I went in there with intentions to, suck it in and absorb. And I also went there knowing that I wasn't really going to be able to defend myself. For one, it's a waste of time, waste of my energy, because they weren't going to believe me regardless of what I told them. And for two, some of you he's having working on speaking because you don't speak. And there were certain cases, certain situations that has happened that he has called me to speak up, because in those certain situations, I usually cowered away and I'm timid. And in those certain situations, he pushed me to speak, like, no, you're going to speak up. You're going to start speaking up in these type of situations. And then there's certain situations where I have no problem speaking up. I have absolutely no problem speaking my mind. And I could do it all day. And in those situations, he's like, you be quiet. I uphold your reputation. I uphold who you are. And if people don't like you, if people don't believe you, then those people weren't assigned to you. Those people weren't called to you. And it doesn't really matter what they think of you. The people that matter to you, to your call, to your assignment, they will see you the way I show them you. And whoever doesn't like you or doesn't believe you or whatever, that's not for you to worry about. So in this situation, I knew I was going to be quiet and basically just let them, dish out whatever they felt they needed to say, or, whatever, they felt about my walk, or, the decisions I've been making. So, but nothing happened at the event. It actually went very pleasant. It was nice. I was surprised, and I went home confused. Also, my daughter was there, which some of you, if you've been following, know that at this moment in time, I am unable to speak to my daughter, which I prayed over that before I went, because I'm like, you're really sending me, there's a bug in my car, you're really sending me to this event knowing she's going to be there, like, why would you do that to me? And I'm like, he's trying to kill me. Like, why would you send me there at my daughter? And I can't talk to her. But I actually did okay, and I watched her. I watched her. Majority of the time I was there, I just watched her because, and she's beautiful. I love her. But anyway, so that was also a test for me to see if I was going to give in and be like, and I didn't, by the grace of God. He kept me strong, and, I just smiled at her with my eyes and showed her my love through my eyes and my smile, but I did not speak to her. But time is coming. Time is coming where, all that will be renewed and restored. So he might be guiding you to a test in itself for you. And or if there's no test involved for you, then he's testing those, using you to test those that he's sending you into this, to this environment, this situation, but also showing you their heart, so you know who you need to back up from and to love from a distance. But I went home very confused that night, because I'm like, nothing happened. I thought this was going to happen, and none of that happened, and I'm so confused. Did I do what you want me to do? Did I behave in a manner you wanted me to behave? Did I show your spirit? Did I minister? Was I supposed to minister? Was I supposed to pray for her? Because I did say a prayer, and I'm like, was I supposed to do that? I felt like I was led to do that. Maybe it wasn't. So I'm just confused, like, God, none of what you told me, because he gave me several confirmations that, this was going to take place. This situation was going to take place, and none of it took place at that event. And I was just so baffled. Like, I don't get it. I'm so confused. This is what you prepared me for. And none of that happened. So, none of that happened because it happened a couple days after. None of it happened at the event because a few days later, I got a call, and I already knew the answer, but I wanted to pray over it first. But I had got a call from a family member wanting to know if my two of my kids could go with, two of the cousins. And, I already knew it was a no, because I observed at the event, and I looked at things, and I'm like, okay, God, I'm seeing some stuff. So I didn't tell her no right away, but I knew the answer was going to be no, because, God had already shown me some things. So I didn't need his confirmation, but I still prayed over it anyway, just to make sure. But she got really defensive, and I kind of felt like, I didn't feel like she was trying to bully me into, letting my kids spend time with, her daughter and the other cousin. And, family or no family, I'm going to allow my kids to be around whoever he tells me that they're okay to be around. And even if you're family, that doesn't mean anything. Yes, he puts emphasis on the family, but how many books in the Bible he's having people leave their own family? Pack up and go to a land where I will show you. Abraham, leave your family. You know what I mean? So a lot of people kind of... they speak on God's character And they speak on the things he won't do and he will do, and the things that he won't have you do and the things he will have you do. And they have not been tested. They have not been processed. They have not walked that walk. They have not even read their Bible. So I was a little bit irritated after I got off the phone, because she was really just trying to, well, once, this this is the generation, they have to know each other and their family, and they're all each other have, once we're dead and gone. I'm like, well, they'll have God and whoever God places in their life or allows them to have in their life. And, she got offended that I said that. And she's like, yeah, I know that. Of course they're going to have God, but, family, da-da-da-da. I'm like, you do know God does call people away from even their own family sometimes, right? You know that? She just got upset. And I was like, well, I'm going to pray on it. I'll pray on it and, I'll let you know. Well, if the movie starts at 6, you're going to pray right now. And I think it was 1. Because she called it 1:23. That's how I knew I was supposed to answer the phone. It was 1:23. And I said, okay, God, I'm going to answer. So it was 1:23 when she called, and she was like, you can pray right now and get confirmation by 6 o'clock, if they can go or not. And I said, yeah, yes, I can, which I already knew my answer anyway. But yeah, I still could, even if I didn't know the answer, I could still, get that confirmation by then. And she said, oh, well, that's something really special. You go ahead and do that. And I said, yeah, it is really special. So, and these are children of God. These are people that call themselves children of God. And I'm not saying that to be like, oh, they call themselves children. It hurts my heart to know that a lot of Christians call themselves children of God and have no clue that what they're doing and the things they're saying and how they're acting towards his children that are on the walk that he has called them to be on. He's not okay with their behavior. He's not okay with their behavior at all. And she had said that, my cousins that wanted to take my kids out to the movie. Well, and God, so-and-so and so, they soldiers in God's army. I guess to kind of put it in my head, well, God vouches for them, so I don't know why your kids wouldn't be able to go with them, because I know God vouches for them. They're soldiers in God's army. And I'm like, not right now, they're not. Not right now, they're not. And that's not to say they don't know God. That's not to say they don't believe in God. But no, they're not. And that's why he's not going to allow me to let my kids go with them. Because I have to protect my kids' walk. My kids are young. Their walk is, and even if they weren't young, when you're in baby faith and in baby walk, your walk is impressionable. Your walk is vulnerable. Why do you think he calls you to himself? Why do you think he isolates you? Why do you think he wants to sanctify you and consecrate you? Like, he needs you by yourself, because he doesn't need any outside influences to taint what he's doing and what he's telling you. So there's a 1243. That's a number he's also been showing me. And that means a division. That means division, distribution, difference, distinction. Making of her, let me see. Okay, God's choice to give sovereign endowments of grace to his people so they can reach out across to others as his hand extended. So 1243 goes with 808, because as he's showing you the hearts of those around you, by their actions, by their unseemly, improper behavior, he is showing you their ruined foundation through that behavior. And he's also causing that division. So he is separating you. He's calling you to be separate, because he has to continue to build you, and he's placing judgment on them. But we are still to be his hand of grace and pray for them. And when he calls us to bring them back in with loving kindness, just like Joseph did his brothers. He let Joseph rule and be off to his own and elevate Joseph the way he did. And then after judgment on his brothers and stuff, then he said, okay, well, they're ready to come back in your life now. And I'm going to have you bless them because they're ready now. They're ready now. So it's a division. He is causing this division. So don't mourn the loss so heavy, so hard. I don't want him coming to you like, okay, Samuel, how long will you mourn? I've no longer said Saul's not the king no more. David's anointed. Get over it. It's okay. I know some of these can be traumatic experiences for you because you're like, that's my family, or that was my friend, or that person was really close to me, and how could this happen? And, you know, I wanted them to be there. And that's all fine and dandy, but he knows best. He knows what he's doing. And if he's calling people and he's pulling people out of your life, it's for a reason. So just ask him for his grace and his mercy and his strength so that you can continue to walk, even though you had to suffer some losses this season. Excuse me. And he's calling me away from two of the most important people in my life. So like I told my sister, you call me away from anybody else, I mean, okay. And it's not to say that I don't love them or anything like that. It's just like you gave me a hard plate to swallow at the beginning of this walk. So if you call me away from anyone else, then it's kind of like, okay, I eat those, you know, I could take that. I'm all right. It's okay. Is it lonely sometimes? Heck yeah. Do I miss my family and people that he's called me away from? Yeah. But I'm doing what my father says. And that's just what it is, because he knows best. So, and, you know, not even to fake the funk, but yes, highly irritated that, you know, you think my walk is fake? You think the stuff I'm doing is for pleasure? You know how many nights I've cried? I've screamed. Like, God, what are you doing? What is this? I'm done. I want to be done. I'm over it. And you think my walk is fake. But it, you know, it just, he's showing us their heart, and a lot of their hearts from what I saw, you know, in this whole little experience that he already prepared me for. I was just like, dang, some of you guys' hearts is, oof. And one of my aunts was even like, you know, oh, you do owe an explanation. I don't owe you anything. Unless my father tells me to explain myself to you, I'm not explaining myself to you. Never. Never. Never will I waste my breath and my time to explain to you what he is having me do. Unless he tells me to explain myself to you. That's a tactic from the enemy. Wasting time, distraction, get the whole thing even up more in an uproar, because I could explain to them and they're not going to understand, and it's just going to keep going down the same road. So why would I waste my time? Please don't waste your time unless he tells you, go ahead and explain yourself. If he doesn't tell you to explain yourself, don't explain yourself. I just stopped responding. Like, I don't have nothing else to say. I leave this at the altar. I pray you guys leave it at the altar too. I love you with the love of Christ, and you know, that's it. Not doing no more than that. He didn't call me to do any more than that. So hopefully this reaches whoever it needs to reach. I don't know, maybe you've already experienced, you know, this whole thing. I was lucky, I was blessed enough for him to tell me through another prophetic word, and I'll try to remember to link that video in my description, so you guys can watch that video too. But hopefully this prepares you if he has not led you to that experience yet. Hopefully this prepares you for what you may be encountering this season in your life. So again, take this to your father to ensure this is a word for you. Sorry that the video turned out to be so long. But yeah, that's all I got for you on this one, unless he wants me to speak anything else, say anything else. No, I think that's it. So, yeah, keep your head up. Stay focused. Stay away from the distractions. Satan is going to try to heavily distract and attack you this season to get your guards down and get you to compromise or settle or to give up on your promises and to, get out of alignment with God. So don't let him. Stay focused on your Father, steadfast, faithful. Stand on his word. All right? Okay, that's all I got for you on this one. Remember, till next time, God loved you then. No matter what you did back then, he loves you now. No matter what you're doing right now. And he'll love you in the future. No matter what you do in the future, God loves you. And he calls you righteous. So stay righteous. And if you ain't righteous right now, get righteous. Okay? All right, because he's coming back and he's placing judgment. And I'm not saying coming back, the end of the world coming back, but he's coming back to shake some things up because he wants y'all to be ready for the end of the world. He's trying to turn some hearts before there ain't no turning back from, Yeah, so, all right. That's all I got. And I am out. Bye.